Welcome to the channel. In this video, we will see how we can set up the Visual Studio Code for writing and executing Python programs. Now, in order to continue with this video, you have to download and install latest version of Python and latest version of Visual Studio Code in your computer. If you don't know how to do that, then I have already made the tutorials. I will provide the link in the description box. You guys can check them out. So once Python and VS Code are installed in our computer, we can go ahead and we can set up the VS Code. So the first thing that I do is I will open up the Visual Studio Code, and once Visual Studio Code is open, what we do is we will set up a workspace for Python programming. In order to do that, we will click on this file and then we will go to Save Workspace As. Now you have to go to the location where you want to save the programs or the projects that you are creating. I will go to my desktop and here I will create the workspace. Now in my desktop, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click here and create a new folder. I will call this as Python Programming. You guys can give any name, and then I will open up this folder, and inside this Python programming folder, I will save my workspace. I will call my workspace as Python workspace, and then I will save. Now the workspace has been saved. The next thing that we do is we will add the folder to the workspace so that we can arrange our projects. So here I'm going to click on this file and then I'm going to go to add folder to workspace, and then here I will go to my desktop and I will go to the location where I have saved my workspace, which is desktop Python programming, and inside this folder I will create another folder and I will call this as hello. You guys can give any name. The reason why I gave the folder name hello is here I will create a Python program which will say hello to the user, and the files for that project will be present inside this folder. So depending on your project, you guys can give the appropriate name, and after giving this name I will click on this add. Now if I expand this explorer, then I can see the Python workspace that I have saved, and then I have this hello folder. So whenever you create a new project, you guys can create a separate folder and you can place the files for that project under the folder for the project. Now the next thing that I'm going to do here is I will select this hello folder that I have just created, and then I will click on this new file icon. I'm going to create a new file which will contain some Python code. I will call this file as hello.py. You guys can give appropriate name depending on your project, and here the file has been created, hello.py. Now before writing some Python code, what we do is we will install some extensions. So I will click on this extensions and then I will search for Python here. We can see a lot of extensions showing up. What we want to do is we want to install the Python extension developed by Microsoft. So we will click on this install. It will install this extension which will provide the language support for Python in VS Code. And as you guys can see, the Python debugger extension is also installed here. We will wait for this installation to finish. Okay, now this extension has been installed. The next extension that we search for is called as PyLint. We search for PyLint here and we will select this PyLint extension developed by Microsoft. It provides the linting support for Python in VS Code. We will install this. Once this is installed, we have enough extensions that are required in order to write and execute the Python programs. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this extension menu, and here I will create a very simple Python program. I will ask the user to enter his name and I will read that user input using the input function. I will say enter your name, and I will save the user input in a variable called as name, and then I will simply use the print function and I will say hello and then the name of the user which has been entered here. So a very simple program just for the demonstration purpose. So now once we write the program, we will go to file and we will click on this save, and it will save the program. What you can do is you can click on this file and you can check this auto save option, which will automatically save the file whenever you make any modifications. So you can check that also. Now once this is done, the next thing that we have to see is how we can run this Python program. In order to run this Python program, what we can do is we can right click here in this text editor. We will find run Python, and here we can find run Python file in terminal. If you click on that, the terminal will be opened and here your Python program will run. So here it says enter your name. I will enter my name, and then it says hello Anil. So a very simple program, and our program is working. Now the next way to run the Python program here is, if you go to the top right section, you can find this icon which looks like this. If you click on this right arrow, you guys can see some options. We have to choose run Python file. Again, if you click on that, it will run your Python program. And here this icon will also become available. If you click on that, the Python program will run. Now, apart from the extensions that we have installed, you can also install some other extensions which can help you. For example, you can install the code formatter for automatically formatting your Python code. So this is it guys for this particular video. This is how we can simply set up the VS Code for writing and executing the Python programs. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button. If you have anything to say, then write that in the comment box. For more tutorials like this, subscribe to the channel.